Alright, hello everyone. Today we're going to be doing another video on Apex once again. Now, today is a little bit sad because, as you can see, we have some confirmation here of the Respawn developers that they have decided to, as they were kind of working on a fix for the Accolades, they've just decided to disable them because a lot of people have complained quite a lot this season about the Accolades. I don't know exactly where this stemmed from. I think maybe it was because of the kind of the issue with how they were kind of very really loud when you were playing the game. There was a setting that actually disabled the audio for it, but it didn't actually work off drop at the very start of the season. So I think people might have just had a bad taste in their mouth about the actual Accolades, but then people are saying that it clutters the screen as well, and they don't really see much use in them. Me personally, I think they're pretty cool because when you just go around the map and obviously you're doing your whole little thing, trying to get kills and even simple things like sliding around and moving around the map, you would actually get some accolades for that, and it felt as if you were kind of getting rewarded just passively by doing different things, which is honestly what a way better system to actually kind of have these passive rewards and stuff than say like the weapon mastery, because I personally think the weapon mastery that we're having now, where it's kind of like just kind of passive challenges that you just get done over time by just playing the game, is pretty fun. The old system of the weapon mastery, where we kind of had like really weird challenges all specific to each weapon, just didn't really fit the game. I feel like no one really cared about it. Whereas when they kind of updated it and made it so you just kind of do it in the meantime type of thing, it made it feel as if you're just kind of doing these challenges as you play them. And the same thing with this, just something that like honestly, I feel like Accolades was just kind of like that additional little feature that like the developers just thought this would be cool, just to kind of have something that just signifies, look, you've done something in the game. Here you go. Here's a little like indication you've done something. Very cool. And obviously it gave you XP as well. Now, of course, they have said that it might return, of course. They just kind of removed it and they might revisit it and then like align it with the goals and stuff. But that to me sounds like they're just going to remove it. I don't know. It's just whenever like a dev company kind of gets a lot of feedback and it's like they've had to remove something, that especially with Apex, they never really remove anything really. If like people don't really like it, it kind of says to me that they're not going to add it back. So this was one of the comments as well, 𝗏𝗏, a really good YouTuber. I watch him all the time. So he says that they currently add nothing to the game apart from video and audio clutter. Now, in my opinion, I don't actually know how much XP you get off them, but I know that you do get XP off them. So there is some incentive, I guess, to actually go ahead and get these. I don't really feel like there's not like an incentive as in like something like you have to go out and get it, you know what I mean? It's just kind of like one of the things you just get in the background when you notice it at the end of the game. It's like, oh, cool. Which, by the way, at the end of the game, and you get like the 3 different tabs for like, the different XP and currencies and everything that you get off an average match. They need to kind of rework that because it takes me like a good 30 seconds to figure out what I actually done challenges wise in the previous game. Just to kind of figure out what I've actually done, because there's like accolades, there's like battle pass levels, there's normal levels, there's the bloody weapon mastery, there's all these different things, and they're all in different tabs. And I think it'd be a lot nicer if it was just cleaned up a little bit, because just adding accolades as well to the whole mix just kind of makes it very difficult to understand where things actually are. And I feel like as well on the accolades tab, it just kind of it didn't really say how much XP each of the things were. I don't think it said anywhere how much each like badge actually was XP wise. But all I know was that they gave XP, and I think that's quite cool because every season they get reset. So it's kind of like a little like showcase of what you've done the season. Like I thought it would be quite cool at the end of the season to kind of look back and see what I got in that season, especially if it keeps track as well. It gives you like a little, like on the little stat page, if it gives you like a little history of how many accolades you got for the season. I think that'll be pretty cool because you'll be able to look back on the previous seasons and have a look and see, oh, I done a lot of this season. I used a lot of snipers this season. I got a lot of that. I ran this many meters that season. You'll see all these stats, and I think it'll be really cool. So 𝗏𝗏 says here they need to be used in badge format for banners. They should show off. They should be show offable in a tab on your profile. Weapon stats should be too. I mean, I don't really know if I agree with that, to be honest, because the whole like kind of banner situation is like that is like the things that you want to show people. But I do kind of agree the same kind of light that there's not enough spaces. I think that's what he's maybe trying to say. There's not enough spaces to have all this information be conveyed to like enemies when you play the game, or if people look at your profile and see all the stats they want to show people. There's not enough space. You have 3 trackers and 3 badges, and that's it. And I feel like just the same with the weapon mastery, you get badges, you get trackers for the weapon mastery for the different weapons you use, but you're never going to actually use the trackers or the badges, really. You might use one, maybe, but like, apart from that, you're never really using them. And then he also says they themselves need to be for useful things, not sliding and jumping, lol. Now, I actually disagree with that as well, because it depends on how much XP you're getting for these things, you know? I'm assuming like things like getting a kill is like probably 10 times the amount of XP than, say, sliding. And I think like just having little pop-ups to say like what you're doing in game, maybe off one slide it shouldn't really pop up, but say off like 5 slides or something like that, it should pop up or something like that. Just to kind of have something run in the background. I thought it was really cool when I'm doing something in the game and it's like a lot of different things are popping up. Let's see if you get a kill while sliding. That would be a cool one. I don't know. I just think it's really cool to have things pop up whilst you're playing the game. But I do kind of agree with that in the same way that jumping shouldn't really just reward something because it's not really much of a reward. Now, on the same note, obviously, I don't really agree with the fact that they should be using badges. I do think it needs to be more of a passive kind of thing where there's no real reward or incentive to do this stuff. It's just kind of something that happens in the background. And you can look back on for previous seasons just to kind of have a look at your stats and see what you've done. That's what I would really like. I would just like if it was a little bit more polished, I think. I think some people obviously are complaining about like visual and audio clutter because they kind of pop up on the right hand side of your screen and it's just kind of like it was quite loud as well, and so it, things like that. But that could all be polished though. Like that can be fixed and it can be put somewhere on the screen, or you can just turn it off from the screen potentially and it just runs in the background. But I like it. I really liked it, and I just think it's a bit weird that like they just disabled it. Now the same kind of like thought path as me. Obviously, weapon mastery needs to be revamped. I've said that for a while now. I do think not the actual challenges, but that because they revamped that a few seasons ago, they need to revamp the actual rewards. Because yes, I think the best thing that you actually get out of it is the fact that your gun on the UI turns gold when you get level 100. But when you actually complete all the challenges, you don't really get anything. It just kind of like says, "Wow, you've done your 5 challenges. There you go. Here's like a legendary pack." Like there's not really much you get out of it. I feel like this really should be some sort of exclusive reward. And I've said this many times before. There should be like some sort of like effect or something like an FX that you can put on your weapon that like glows or something. Like how we've had the auras with this recent season. They should have some FX to put on your weapon that you can't get anywhere else in the game. As in, like, this is an exclusive item, similar to skydive trails, when they were like an exclusive item just for getting a ranked reward. You couldn't buy them, like, you couldn't do anything. Obviously, that's kind of the opposite now. You can only now get skydive trails by buying them or through the ranked ladder thing now, but yeah, I think there needs to be exclusive rewards through progression. We no longer have that in the game. It creates a massive incentive to kind of play the game and do these things. It should be for ranked, there should be exclusive rewards for ranked, and there should be exclusive rewards for the weapon and potentially legend mastery as well. The do need to add season trackers as well. They were an absolute massive progression thing, and I don't know why they removed them. Whether it was because of the battle pass, there's like too many characters now, and so they just kind of removed it to kind of clear up space. I don't know, because in my opinion, they could have just gave you all the trackers as like oh yeah, there's a new season now, right, here's all the trackers. That would made a lot more sense. Now, if they do that, I would like to have all the previous season trackers as well, because I've got every season's trackers. Just give everyone, even people who didn't buy the battle passes and didn't unlock all the trackers of previous seasons, just give everyone all of the trackers for every season, for all the characters. Just do that, because then at least everyone has trackers for everyone. I don't think anyone would be mad at that. So yeah. He's also said as well, overall season kill and win stats for every legend would be cool too. Which honestly, like, I do think the stats page for the game could be improved a little bit. Like how I said before, having a little page with the accolades to show like previous seasons accolades on the same page. We could also see every single, like, the most played characters, like in Overwatch. You have like a little like page that you can go to and it shows you most played characters recently and of all time and per season and everything. And it shows you a lot of stats. And I would love to see more stats. It would be pretty cool, because then you can kind of grind towards things and see who you actually play the most in the game. Because I've got my own little tracker thing on Excel to help me kind of, think about what I want to do next and, my own progression goals. But it'd be nice to kind of have something similar in game where you can actually visualize all your characters' data in one nice little neat space without having to go to every single character and look on the banners and everything. It'd be nice to kind of have things like that. It would be pretty cool. He's also saying we need new badges as well, which I think is great. But we need the real big progression systems, and we really need Legend of Weapon Mastery revamps as well. We need that with the right rewards first. That's what we need. And then he's also said as well, clubs had endless potential, and I agree with that. I don't know why they removed them. I think it would have been so much fun to have a club and then set up tournaments and stuff like with them. It would have been so cool. They could have had so many things going with the clubs. So yeah, I mean, some of these don't really relate to progression too much. The clubs, I don't really think really related too much to progression, but I do think the main things from progression, look at the Call of Duty days when we used to grind out for dark matter and shit like that on like BO3 and diamond camo on weapons as well, and like things like that where you want to play the game to complete something. That's the type of things that the developers should be striving towards for progression right now. Because right now, all we have progression-wise is, do you want to get a level 2000 on your account? Because right now, even things like a 20 kill badge and a 4K badge, which I've said in previous videos, have been devalued, and we've seen it very clearly this season with the new wildcard mode. So many people are running around with 20 kill badges and 4K badges on all the characters because they've simply just grinded them on wildcard. And it's not too much of a difficult feat. People are getting like 40 kills in some games on the mode. So essentially getting the 20 kill badge 2 times over in just one match. That lasts like 10 minutes. And so these badges have been devalued. Which is an absolute issue, because as we've said before, badges are one of the progression systems in the game that you get rewarded for, and you're able to show these things off. And so now that they're devalued, no one's going to really care about them. So there needs to be some sort of change here. I do think that wildcard should give badges, but just not the 20 kill and the 4K badge. It should give separate badges. It should be a separate mode altogether, like how we had with arenas. There should be 2 different types of thing. We should have a battle royale kind of stats stuff, and we should have a other mode stats thing. I don't know, maybe we could have a combined stat total, but mixtape might have like a reduction of how many kills you get or something. So if you get 10 kills, it equates to 1, because you technically that does make sense sometimes, but I would like to hear what you guys think, because progression is a big thing in this game, and it needs to be more of a big thing, because it's just kind of went down and down and down. Even some systems we used to have like badges have now become a little bit devalued. So yeah, please leave in the comments what you guys would like to see progression wise, and I'll see you guys in the next one.